It is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! As we get to watch two exciting decks, Cyber Dragon versus Endymion, post-duel overload inside of Master Rule 2020. Is this what is in store with us post the April Forbidden list? Let's find out as Cyber Dragon gets to go off, starting off first by normal summoning that Cyber Dragon core, and now chaining Cyber Dragon Fear to the effect, allowing you to special summon Fear to the side of the field and search for your Cyber Spell or Trap card uninhibited. With that, they'll be able to search the Cyber Emergency, which will allow them to dig deeper into their play. Following up, said Cyber Emergency should be activated as it is right now, searching another Cyber Dragon monster or a Light Machine monster that cannot be normal summoned or set. This time it is Cyber Dragon Hertz. Following up, you guys can see that Cyber Dragon may have not opened the best of field, the best of boards, but it's okay as they'll still be able to make a pretty formidable board. Using both the core and the Fear to make Cyber Dragon Seeger, the deck can now follow up with another critical spell card in its hand to get into its resources. That spell card is going to be Cyber Repair Plant, allowing you to add from your deck to your hand a Light Machine monster. Cyber Dragon's monster of choice is going to be the Galaxy Soldier. Following up, it looks like the deck will be able to make that Cyber Dragon Infinity play, as Galaxy Soldier can now activate its effect, discarding the Cyber Dragon Hertz to the graveyard to be able to special summon Hitself, using Hertz as Chain Link 2 to effectively prevent Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring again from activating, adding Cyber Dragon Fear back into the hand, and then Galaxy Soldier will fetch another copy of Galaxy Soldier. Now, the second Galaxy Soldier won't be able to activate its effect to add a Galaxy monster from the deck to the hand, which is unfortunate, but it's still pretty cool, as Galaxy Soldier number 2 will be able to summon its side of the field, mainly off of Hertz's effect to be able to add the Cyber Dragon Fear. Both of those monsters will be used into an Xyz summon into Cyber Dragon Infinity, or my apologies, Cyber Dragon Nova first, which will use its effect to detach a Galaxy Soldier to be able to special summon Hertz into attack position. Now, it's pivotal if you guys are going with this combo sequence to special summon Hertz into attack position. Cyber Dragon Infinity is going to need to attach an attack position monster, and Hertz is a prime target, because when it's sent right back into the graveyard, you can add your Cyber Dragon core. In this particular situation, Cyber Dragon Fear also becomes a card to add from the deck to the hand to further prevent chain blocking. Cyber Dragon is doing pretty swell right now, having that one Omni negation of not only a monster, spell, or trap, but the effect of a spell or trap, meaning a card already face up on the field and graveyard, as well as a Cyber Dragon Seeger, which gives 2100 attack to any of the monsters, making them extremely hard to get over. Pendulums are going to go ahead and start off with their turn. They're going to have to get over a Cyber Dragon Infinity negate with, as we know, with the Pendulum concept, every single card is important. Without those particular cards in their hand, if Cyber Dragon doesn't negate the correct card, the Pendulum strategy can be at a halt. And just to let you guys know, if you were wondering, where do we get these insane mats from? Where do we get all of that stuff? How can I see a deck profile? Then go ahead and look at the pinned comment in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. It'll explain everything. As Pendulum is now going to start off with Master Cerberus into the scale, this brings a dilemma to Cyber Dragon. Does Cyber Dragon allow Mythical Beast Master Cerberus to resolve? And if it does, they can negate the activation of Cerberus, as mentioned before with Cyber Dragon Infinity, preventing Master Cerberus's effect from being activated again and resolving. That's pretty good. They also had an option to negate the activation of Cerberus in the scale, sending it to the graveyard. Pendulum is now going to follow up with Magical Citadel and then activating Upstart Goblin. This may give Cyber Dragons an 1000 life point advantage, but it allows Endymion to get deeper into their combos, but more importantly, they're going to get those coveted spell counters on their Magical Citadel. Getting your spell counters on an Endymion deck is probably the most important thing, because with those spell counters, you're allowed to gain additional abilities. These abilities are really important for the Endymion deck, as they allow you to push for resources and potentially go for game. Spellbook Magician of Prophecy is going to find itself to the side of the field, adding a Spellbook of Secrets to activate itself to eventually find a Spellbook of Knowledge. Now, as you guys already know, the Spellbook engine is pretty good inside of Pendulum decks because it serves two purposes. The deck doesn't typically normal summon, so wasting it for a Spellbook Magician of Prophecy is pretty much free, and the deck does need these spell cards to be activated to gain spell counters, something that the Spellbook Secrets and Spellbook Knowledge do fulfill as well. So it's a match made in heaven for the strategy, as Knowledge is going to send Little Blue Voids to the graveyard, adding another counter to Endymion, but also get the strategy deeper into its plays. picking up those 2 additional cards. Endymion actually is going to find a little bit of luck, some critical cards to allow them to advance their strategy. This deck is actually really strong post Master Rule 2020, even with the current available nerfs of Electromite, and of course, you still have to abide to the Master Rule 4 rules. As the Mythical Beast Jackal King is going to find itself in scale, biting Cyber Dragon in the butt. It was basically, do you expect to see the Jackal King in scale, or do you expect your opponent to draw another Mythical Beast Master Cerberus? Almost a lose-lose situation because you don't know. Following up, Spell Power Mastery is going to be used while the Cerberus is face up on the field. Keep in mind, Cerberus does gain 2 counters every time a spell card is activated, and Mastery will put an additional counter on any card that it can, depending on the Spell Power Masteries on your field and graveyard. So essentially, it puts 2 counters on the card, and then it follows up with a 3rd counter in Mythical Beast Master Cerberus's effect this time. So this time, Spell Power Mastery is going to find a Servant of Endymion, which is primed for an effect. While it doesn't have any spell counters on its own, the City of Endymion will allow you to substitute its counters on the side of the field to be able to spell summon the Servant. Did I say the Servant, or did I mean the City? You guys know what I meant. So anyways, the Servant of Endymion can be used, the City of Endymion can be used as a substitute for Servant of Endymion, which will happen in this particular situation, to special summon the Servant to the side of the field, as well as a monster that you can place spell counters on. In this particular situation, it is going to be Mythical Beast Jackal King, which is amazing. If Cyber Dragon had any hand traps right now, they're pretty much useless, as Jackal King can negate the activation since there are multiple spell counters on the field, period. There's 5 on Jackal King, there's 4 on your city. It's really not much you can do, but oh my, whoa! It looks like this deck is going to follow up with the Big Daddy Master Endymion, putting counters everywhere. But even more importantly, Master Endymion does have an effect to spell summon itself to the side of the field by removing 6 counters, which it looks like it's going to happen. And the catastrophic thing about this is that it can destroy cards on the field and add counters, leaving it wide open. But it looks like, no, it looks like Mythical Beast Master Cerberus is going to activate its effect first to banish the Cyber Dragon Infinity, giving it 2100 attack. And now it looks like Master Endymion, Big Daddy Endymion, is going to follow up, removing 6 counters from your side of the field to summon itself. I know what you guys are thinking. That is a load of damage, and without the Mythical Beast Master Cerberus's attack game, it would have been another play for Cyber Dragon, but unfortunately for Cyber Dragon, that is enough for game. Going into game 2, Cyber Dragon is going to go ahead and start off with Cyber Dragon Core, using the effect to add a Cyber Dragon or a Cyber Spell or Trap card from the deck to the hand. That's going to be Cyber Network. Has Cyber Dragon lost its marbles? Why would you be playing Cyber Network? Following up with a Machine Duplication play, allowing Cyber Dragons to be able to spell summon 2 more copies of Cyber Dragon to their side of the field. It's kind of weird when, like, the boss monster is the name of the deck. Like, at least in Endymion, like, it's Master Endymion, you know what I mean? Like, at least that's that. But with this deck, nah fam, it's Cyber Dragon. So 2 Cyber Dragons are going to hit the side of the field, and it looks like Cyber Dragon has a pretty huge decision to make on their decision tree. What they can do is go into, it looks like they're going to go into a rank 5 right now, using both Cyber Dragons on their side of the field to make Infinite Track. I'm not even going to fuck with you guys. I don't know that card's name. What I do know is that it gets you an Earth Machine monster from your deck to your hand, and this time around it is going to be an Infinite Track monster. Infinite Track Anchor Drill is going to be added from the deck to the hand with Cyber Dragons, and that's going to be pivotal to their combo sequence that is going to be devastating for Pendulum if they can't stop it. Now, as we can already see, both the Cyber Dragon Core and the Infinite Track Anchor Drill, Infinite Track Link Exceed Monster, I don't know this card, will be used for a link into a Platinum Gadget, which will trigger the effect of Platinum Gadget to spell summon Anchor Drill. But what's confusing me is that Cyber Dragon did not add the Rev system, meaning unless they already have it in their hand, they won't be able to make that true King of all calamities. Platinum Gadget to special summon that Anchor Drill to the side of the field, and it looks like a card is going to be set face down before the Overload Fusion, banishing both Cyber Dragons from the graveyard to be able to make Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon? Huh. Chimeric Rampage Dragon is interesting as it doesn't have a lot of applications, using its effect to destroy the cyber network. Whoa! This is some big brain plays by Cyber Dragon, as now not only do they have dual Cyber Dragons back to their side of the field, they have 2 additional level 5 or a level 9 monster that can make them an insane play. Now Chimeric wants to send Hertz and, oh wow, for insult to injury, it's going to add a core back into the hand. And for the people that are wondering, you can activate the effect of your Rampage Dragon even if you don't enter your battle phase. So using the effect, or using both the Cyber Dragons to make a Nova, then special summoning Hertz to make Infinity, Anchor Drill to target Rampage. Both of those monsters are now level 9. And with a quick strike, it looks like the deck is going to make a true king of all calamities, Cyber Dragon Infinity play. This deck has been heralded as a go second deck, but with this type of board, why would you ever want to go second? Cyber Dragon Infinity negating that critical play, and True King of all calamities negating all monster effects. This is a match made in heaven for Cyber Dragons, all off of simple combos. These decks are pretty crazy. I'm excited to see what Endymion can do to counter this. They'll lose all of their monster effects, but fortunately, this is a deck made of 40 spell cards. So it looks like Cyber Dragon may have a option to negate maybe one of their spell cards. Their monster effects will be a little inhibited, but in this particular situation, Master Endymion is actually your star card, as if you can generate enough spell counters on your side of the field, Master Endymion activates as a spell card to special summon itself. Pretty freaking good. Looks like Mythical Beast Master Service is going to allow it to be activated this time around. What could Cyber Dragon be brewing in this particular sequence, because it was so pivotal that they would have stopped the Mythical Beast combo, because you can summon Cerberus to your side of the field, which is stronger than Infinity. But in this given situation, it looks like True King of all calamities does prevent Pendulum and Endymion from attacking, so that could be pretty much a problem. So now it looks like Pendulum is looking for the next move. They're going to activate Mythical Beast Jackal King, but it looks like Cyber Dragon has a response in Artifact Sanctum. What is going on? What is the madness with this deck? As you guys should already know what I like to say. Whoa! It looks like Artifact Size is going to hit the field, preventing the special summon of monsters from the extra deck, meaning Mythical Beast Master Cerberus won't be able to special summon an extra deck, but even more importantly, Jackal can't get out of the scale. This is dirty dining, and it looks like Cyber Dragon is feasting on the opportunities ahead of themselves. That is crazy. Artifact Size now preventing the activation or the summon of monsters from the extra deck. True King of all calamities prevents those monster effects. Cyber Dragon Infinity stops a clutch play, and then there's a Cyber. Wow, that is the nastiest hand of all time. Cybernetic Overload in Graveyard is being shown, showing that it can destroy multiple cards. We're gonna go into game 3. It has only been 13 minutes of action, ladies and gentlemen, and we have seen some jam-packed action from both sides. Pendulum is going to take their opportunity to go first and activate Magical Abductor, and now follow up with Spellbook of Secrets in their spell and trap card zone. That's of course going to put that counter on Magical Abductor, but also allow them to add their Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. Prophecy is going to summon itself to the side of the field, meaning that they'll be able to add another Spellbook card from their deck to their hand. In this particular situation, it's going to be Spellbook of Knowledge. These two decks are fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think that they're going to be hit by the Forbidden List, and I think they might be the new meta after the Forbidden List, to be honest with you guys. They have so much support in Master Rule 2020, Dual Overload, whatever you want to call it. And there's so many sequences, not just these sequences that you see, that can be added on to this deck, because there are so many awesome players that are innovating. It looks like Spellbook of Knowledge is going to be activated on Little Blue Boy. That's going to get Endymion 2 additional cards from their deck to their hand, but also put another counter on Magical Abductor. That is pretty important that you get your counters up. Always get your counters up, ladies and gentlemen. Following up, it looks like they're going to find their Magical Citadel through their Spellbook of Knowledge. Since it's 3 counters of Abductor, Abductor can activate its effect to add a Chronograph Sorcerer from the deck to the hand, which means some Sorcerer plays can then follow up, activating Chronograph Sorcerer into the Pendulum scale, then destroying it to be able to special summon a Time Gazer Magician is one step closer to your new cards. Not bad at all. But Pendulum just might have some other motives with this card that I don't want to unveil to you guys just yet until it's activated. But it's going to be an Allure of Darkness, placing 1 counter on Magical Abductor and the City of Endymion to get deeper into the deck. To be real with you guys, Endymion did not open the best of hands. They're going to need as much draw power as possible to get into what they need. They're going to find 2 more cards from the top of their deck at the cost of banishing said Chronograph Sorcerer. Ultimately, they're going to find a mythical institution. Not bad at all. An Upstart Goblin on top of that to give the opponent 1,000 life points, but more importantly, to add counters on your Magical Abductor and your city, and also get you into more plays. Now, Magical Abductor is a hard once per turn. It looks like Mythical Institution number 2 is going to be activated, but it can still retain counters. That's going to be pretty good, seeing that Mythical Institution can remove counters from anywhere on the side of the field, and it's not a hard once per turn. So if you have multiple copies of Mythical Institution on your field, or just have a way to bounce Mythical Institution and activate it again, well, it looks like you can search more Pendulum cards from your deck to your hand. This time around, Mythical Institution is going to find itself into a Servant of Endymion. I swear there's like 8 ways to search this card. Like, I don't even understand why it was even limited in the first place. And Servant's going to use its effect, removing counters from the city to be able to spell summon itself, as well as a monster that can retain spell counters to the side of the field. Now, you guys should already know it's probably going to be Mythical Beast Jackal to the side of the field that is going to find its card. And that means that the deck, if it does decide to pop off, cannot be Nibiru. Pretty good. So both those monsters are going to hit the field. We see some spell counters on the field itself. And Keiju Kendo Spirit is going to add even more counters to all of the cards. Now, this card is really interesting because it is a scale 9. It allows the deck to be able to Pendulum summon Mythical Beast Master Cerberus to their side of the field. Unfortunately, it looks like they're going to be Pendulum summoning a Mythical Beast Garuda. Not really much. And then using all monsters. Whoa, hold on, time out. You're losing your Nibiru. You're losing the ability to be immune to Nibiru, Endymion. What are you doing? First of all, questionable Pendulum summon. Secondly, okay, I guess they're going to go into Selene, which is an amazing card out of the Duel Overload set. Her effects entail that you can place counters on her up to the number of spell cards in the graveyard as well as on the field. So she's going to immediately get 8 spell counters, which almost forgives everything that every Pendulum player has ever done in the name of Pendulum. Like, it's literally like forgiving you for your sins. And it's like a Beast Magic attack is going to activate. That is a card we don't see too often in Pendulum decks. Removing 4 spell counters from the side of the field to be able to re-special summon that Jackal King. Is this the new wave with Pendulum decks? What? Looks like Endymion might have found some real spice, as counters are going to find their way back to the side of the field. Removing 4 counters was probably nothing, because essentially you remove no counters. You got 2 counters on your 2 free spell cards, and you got 2 counters back on your Mythical Beast Jackal. So it's like, I think what's even crazier is I want to say that that's the 5th summon, so Nibiru got completely dodged on top of that. It looks like more counters are going to be removed from Selene. Not 100% sure. Oh, it's going to be used by Mythical Institution to search. Wow, okay, all right, that's pretty good. Big Daddy Endymion is going to be searched. When you got enough spell counters to search anything you want, and one of them just so happens to be Big Daddy Endymion, do whatever you want, bro. Big Daddy Endymion activated into the Pendulum scale, boosting Jackal to 4, the City to 4, and Abductor back to 1. It looks like Big Daddy can find itself to be special. I'm going to stop calling him that. That sounds weird. But he's going to definitely find his way back to the side of the field by removing 6 counters from the field to be able to spell summon himself. I personally think that Master Endymion should have destroyed cards on the field to gain that counter, making him immune to targeting and also searching a spell card upon his destruction. That's really, really, really good. But in this situation, it's still not bad, as the cards that you would be able to bounce for Master Endymion in this particular situation would have to either be the Jackal or your field spell, something that you don't necessarily want to get rid of. So as you guys can see, Endymion is going to use, Selene's going to use her effect to be able to spell summon Little Boy. And then those 2 monsters will be linked off for Apollosa. Now, as you guys can see, Selene didn't show an enormous appearance other than getting 8 spell counters, but she showed a pretty decent appearance, passing it right back to Cyber Dragon and having 4 negates and a respectable board on the side of the field. So I don't think that this was a terrible board, especially considering that Endymion did not open the best of hands. I think this was a very solid board, and Endymion has options going into their latter games. In my personal opinion, you don't always need to go for amazing 1,000,000 negates. Sometimes setting up a board like this is mute when you can spell summon Cyber Dragon to your side of the field. And that is exactly what Cyber Dragon is going to do, using both the Apollousa in itself to make a Chimera Tech Mega Fleet. So there goes 3 negates right there, as the 2 negates from the Apollousa and Mythical Beast Jackal King is probably the next target. Chimera Tech is going to ram into that Jackal King, transferring those counters to the city, but getting over that 3rd negate. So how do you get rid of 3 negates? Well, in Cyber Dragon, you could use just 1 card. Following up, it looks like Galaxy Soldier is going to discard Cyber Dragon. Hurts. Oh my gosh. You can't get better than that. Hurts to add the Cyber Dragon, and Galaxy Soldier to add Galaxy Soldier. Summoning Galaxy Soldier back to the side of the field, discarding the Cyber Dragon that was added. It looks like an infinity play is going to be made. So now when you think about it, having that immunity protection on your Master Endymion it seems pretty good, because Cyber Dragon just bypassed that whole negation aspect by just not activating any spell cards forehead, finally finding its way into Cyber Dragon Infinity to snatch that Endymion like how, I can't say that, but it was definitely a pop singer snatching up kids. I'm not gonna say that again. And then following up with an overload fusion. Cyber Dragons are not playing, banishing both Cyber Dragons from the graveyard to be able to spend some of that rampage. And now they'll be able to destroy spell and trap cards on the side of the field. They're going to destroy those Pendulum Scales, knowing that both the institution and the city are immune completely to destruction. They're going to hit the scales and prevent Pendulum summoning. I mean, it's a necessary sacrifice. Following up, it looks like Rampage is going to send Cyber Dragon and Core from the deck to the graveyard, following up with some pretty good next turn plays, because if their board is broken, Core can spell summon Noxter, Noxter can spell summon back Cyber Dragon, and you're good to go. The deck is pretty much back on a roll. Unfortunately, they had to go into the battle phase to get rid of the Jackal King, so that's going to be the end of the turn. If not, it would have been game. And Pendulum Endymion is left with quite the few advices, activating Mythical Beast Balshik into the spell and trap card zone. Everybody knows what this card does. It destroys itself to draw a card. So Cyber Dragon probably shouldn't negate that card, because Mythical Institution can still activate its effect, and Endymion has a frick ton of counters not to move to negate. They're going to allow that to get through, as it will add a plethora of counters on both the city and the institution. Cyber Dragon's main objective is 2 things. First, not to get OTK'd, so they actually have a reason to come back. But second, even more importantly, to stop that institution from activating its effect. Hypothetically, if Endymion uses institution to activate and removes all the counters from institution, it's the one that they're activating, that would be the perfect time for Cyber Dragons to negate that card effect, because not only would it be negated, it would be sent to the graveyard. It does not have any counters anymore. Unfortunately for Cyber Dragon, it looks like Endymion lucked up real good right here, as they're going to activate Mythical Beast Master Cerberus, and this is a card that Cyber Dragons are faced with a decision. Look, they can even destroy this card, or it's going to search the Jackal, and if it searches the Jackal, it's going to summon the Endymion, which is going to force the negation, and they get more spell counters. So in this particular sequence, Cyber Dragon is forced to negate the Master Cerberus and send it to the graveyard. They don't even want that card in the extra deck. They just want that card gone. It's over. They don't want no counters to be added. And unfortunately, again, here is where Endymion shines, as now they'll be able to use their mythical institutions uninhibited, adding that Servant of Endymion from their deck to their hand. Not that it really mattered. The Servant of Endymion could have been anything, because institution can have from the extra deck, if I'm correct. And then using the second institution, removing spell counters from the side of the field to search again. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was a lot of spell counters. Like, a lot of spell. That's going to be, oh yeah, how could I forget? There's multiple copies of that card being ran in the deck. Big Daddy Endymion is going to be added from the deck to the hand, and now it looks like Servant of Endymion is going to be activated, bringing the counters to 6. The deck is in a prime position to make a move. Servant of Endymion being able to special summon itself to the side of the field, removing 3 counters from the city. Seriously, how many times have you seen this deck actually get 3 counters on Servant? Card needs to be banned. I'm saying this from a Cyber Dragon fan perspective, in a salty perspective, in a salty for Cyber Dragon fans perspective, because the board got broke. And now it looks like a Mythical Beast Jackal is going to hit the field. Not strong enough to beat Cyber Dragon Infinity, but we already know what's happening next, as Big Daddy Endymion is going to activate itself into the Pendulum scale. There's more than enough spell counters to go around for Endymion to summon itself to the side of the field, removing quite a few from the Citadel. That's 3 if I remember correctly, and then removing from the Jackal King. You can remove them all, it doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? And then removing the last from Servant to summon itself, destroying all monsters on the side of the field and giving himself counters. Now that is probably the biggest thing, as now Big Daddy Endymion has counters. He can't be targeted. If he's destroyed by battle, I mean, he gets to search a normal spell card from his deck to his hand. How do you stop this? Typically you don't. Massive damage is going to be attacked by the Endymions, leaving Cyber Dragon down to 1900 life points. This is going to be a game. Will Cyber Dragons crumble? Do they have the outs? Will they ever be able to beat this game? Does Vegeta ever become the main protagonist? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Okay, so it looks like the Cyber Dragon core is going to be activated, and Endymion's going to let that go through, knowing that they can just stop the monster that is going to be summoned. Predictably, that's going to be the Cyber Dragon Noxter. But it looks like before they can even stop it, it looks like Cyber Dragon Fear is going to hit the side of the field, preventing a Chain Link 2 activation for Jackal King to negate the Noxter. That's going to bring out Cyber Dragon Infinity, which is still no problem. It looks like Endymion still has opportunities to stop card effects, as Cyber Dragon Infinity, there's no way to really chain block around that card, and it looks like it's going to use the effect to take the Jackal, knowing that Jackal will remove counters from itself and from the Big Daddy Master Endymion to be able to negate Cyber Dragon Infinity and destroy it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This game just might be over, but it looks like a Cyber Rev system is going to hit. That's not going to excite me, because not only is Master Endymion a spell negator, there's plenty of spell cards to go around. It's going to bounce the Mythical Institution to be able to negate that Rev system and give itself another counter. It's still not really impressive, but it looks like a third Cyber Rev system. Oh my god, what is going on? A third Cyber Rev system to be able to special summon, or a second Cyber Rev system to be able to special summon Nova, to be able to special summon Infinity. Infinity use its effect to snatch the Big Daddy Endymion. No, that can't happen. It can't be targeted. It can snatch the Mythical Beast Jackal though, and Noxter and the Fear can be used for a link summon into Cyber Dragon Seeger, and that's where you face that huge epidemic. Pendulum is down to no cards left in hand. You know right here and right now, if you do get rid of the Master Endymion, not only will they get counters transferred, they'll also get a normal spell card. You can already guess what it is. It's going to be Spell Power Mastery. So they are able to break the board by using Seeger to give Infinity more attack, and also attacking over the Servant of Endymion, which, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that card should have went into the Pendulum zone instead of the extra deck, but I mean, whatever. And they'll also be able to get to search a spell card, which is going to be Spell Power Mastery. It's going to be really interesting to see how this will work out. We know that the Cyber Dragon Infinity wants to be used on the Spell Power Mastery, negating its effect and sending it to the graveyard. That can essentially get Cyber Dragons the free victory. But it really all comes up to A, what does Mythical Beast want to search? And B, what is their next draw? If their draw is something deadly, then it is not a good situation for Cyber Dragon. If it's a dead card like Time Gazer Magician, then Cyber Dragon can walk away with the win. As both decks are being shuffled, they're going to pass the turn. Cyber Dragon is going to pass the turn right back to Endymion, giving them that piece of hope that they need. Will they be able to win this battle? Will Cyber Dragons be able to conquer? Which one of these decks will take it all? It all depends on this time right here, this very turn, who will do it right. And it looks like Endymion got the Mythical Beast Master Service. Well, I'll be damn, man. Watch Samuel L. Jackson 4 times and you'll understand what I want to say. Mythical Beast Master Service is going to be activated in the scale. This leaves a huge dilemma, but as Cyber Dragon checks, it's like, oh, it's only, there's a Jackal King on Infinity, there's a Jackal King in the extra deck. I mean, that card can't be too much of a threat. And then Cyber Dragon lets it happen. It could be a bluff. Activating Mythical Beast Master Service is like, that's okay. There's still Mythical Beast Garuda that can activate, but it doesn't seem like it'll be the end of the world. They still have to deal with Cyber Dragon Seeger, and it doesn't look like there's enough counters to go around for Seeger and Garuda. This is perfectly fine. Everything is a-okay, and you can still have that one negation saved for the Spell Power Mastery, and Yeah, there's a third Jackal King, and Endymion just so happens to play 3 Mythical Beast Jackal Kings. A little out of the ordinary for Endymion decks, but hey, when it works, it works. Activating that Mythical Beast Jackal King into the Pendulum Scale, that will give Endymion another counter, and then you can destroy. Oh no, it looks like Cyber Dragon's gonna go ahead and use that effect. It has to stop something. I mean, it's not gonna get rid of her by everything, I guess. Destroying the Mythical Beast, but now Spell Power Mastery can follow up. It looks like Endymion is making sure everything is fine for the activation. That's going to add a plethora of counters on the cards on the side of the field. But more importantly, it kind of doesn't matter, as Big Daddy Endymion will come through for the George W. Bush for Endymion, activating itself into the scale. There's 6 counters, destroying both cards. This game is over. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. And if you really did, consider joining our Patreon. We have so many awesome rewards. I hope you guys are having a great day, like I am.